D, wait for it, Mightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
One last thing, I'll make it really brief. You are going to direct a DC superhero movie.
A DC superhero movie.
New
No,
Gods.
not just a superhero movie.
Yeah.
New Gods.
New Gods.
New Gods. Jack Kirby's New Gods. It is sublime.
That's so exciting.
So
And
good. You like DC?
I do like DC.
Okay.
And it's really, for me, it's one of those superhero worlds that I feel like people don't know quite as well as the classic.
But once they know,
Yeah.
oh, it's
Well,
one of the most lush, the best ones.
I'm really excited that it's in your safe hands, and I can't wait to see
I'm
it.
glad
Thanks
you
so
like
much for
it.
being here.
Thank you.
Ava DuVernay, everybody.
What's up, nerds? So, Ava DuVernay has been tapped to direct the DCEU's New Gods movie. Now, for this one, I'm going to just cast the members of Apokolips. They haven't said what members of the New Gods they're going to have on there, like which people are characters are going to be in the movie. So therefore, in this episode, or in this video, I will choose the characters, and I will pick who I think should play them. Now, like I said, Ava DuVernay has been picked to cast them. Picked to direct, and I think that she's a competent director. If you've seen her movie Selma, then you are better for it. That's such a great movie, and I would suggest, if you haven't seen it, that I think that you should. If you did see her A Wrinkle in Time, I'm sorry, you wasted your time because that movie sucked. And if you don't think that, then you have a character flaw. I'm sorry, it was just no good. I think that Ava DuVernay, I think that with her directing style, I think that she will bring I think that she will not only bring diversity to this movie, I think that she'll bring different people that you wouldn't think. I mean, I'm not a purist when it comes to the comic books as far as movies go, so you don't have to just because it's a white guy in the comic books doesn't mean it has to be a white guy in the movie. So I think Ava DuVernay, she's very big on representation and diversity, so I think that she will bring that to this movie, and I think that's a plus. And then the DCEU will be better for it. So the first thing I want to dive into is the talk of Steppenwolf. Now, Steppenwolf was in Justice League. He was the main villain, and you don't have to have him in this movie as the new as a character throughout the entire movie, but I do think that they should have him in there. And if from what I understand, in a deleted scene, Darkseid was going to kill him. If he's going to do that, I think that they should do that right off the bat, or just put him in prison if that's what he's going to do. Whatever he's going to do with him, I think that Steppenwolf should be in there, and they should address that, and then just move on and everything. So now I'm going to get into my casting of the Apokolips New Gods, and and these are like the bad guys, even though are they kind of thing. So my first casting will be for Darkseid, the main man himself. And for that one, I have cast Andre Braugher. I think that's how you say his name. He did the voice of Darkseid in Batman, Superman, Apokolips. And I just think he's got such a great voice. I think that Darkseid should be CG mixed with practical stuff. The Andre Braugher guy should stand there, but obviously Darkseid's so big and everything that he won't be. Kind of like what they do with the Hulk in the Avengers movies. I think that they should do that. I think that he's got, but I think his voice is just so great, and I think it'd be really great for the character. So for my next pick, I have chose the character Darkseid, which is Darkseid's torturer. And I think that, and he's got, half of his face is scarred. It's usually scarred. Sometimes there's like a weird growth or whatever, but I really think that the best person to play this would be Jeffrey Combs. He is not a stranger to makeup on his face and covering his face. A lot of actors don't like to wear masks or cover their face because they want people to see their face so they can get more work, but Jeffrey Combs has done a lot of Star Trek work, and he's covered up his face, and I think that he would just really, and Darkseid doesn't have to be like a really huge character in there, but I think that Jeffrey Combs would be great. So for my next character that I think they should have in there is Glorious Godfrey. And I think, or G. Godfrey, as he's been portrayed sometimes. And I think that the best pick would be Matthew Roach. I think that he would be the great one, the greatest pick for that, because he was in the show Banshee, and he in that part he showed such like the stoic, very I've got evil behind my eyes, and he didn't talk very much in the show, but when he did, it was very like menacing, and I think that this would be such a great opportunity for him. Like, maybe he doesn't have to talk, but when he does, you're going to have to listen and everything. And I think that it's very Purple Man like from Jessica Jones, and I think that he would be the best cast for this one. So for my next person that should be a character that should be cast is Calabac, and I think that it should be because, well, my pick is Graham McTavish. If you have seen the Hobbit movies, he plays Dwalin, and I think that he did such a great job there, and Dwalin is a dwarf, so I think that they could take Calabac if they wanted to, because Graham McTavish is, I believe, 6'2", so it's quite tall, but they could make him small like they did with him in the Hobbit movies, and I think that, he's not afraid to wear prosthetics, and he's not afraid to cover his face, and I think that he does such a great job that I think that he would really do a great job as Calabac. So for my next character, and this character could not be in a New Gods movie, and that is Granny Goodness. And she is, the mother of the female Furies, which we'll get into that in just a second. But for Granny Goodness, I really think that they should cast Oprah Winfrey. If you remember, she was rumored to be in Suicide Squad as Amanda Waller, and she's worked with Ava DuVernay before in Ava DuVernay's movies, and I think that they have such a relationship and a friendship that I think that if Ava DuVernay asked her to be in it, and the script was good, I think that she would do it. I think that, plus, this, like I said, this is great for representation. She's a black woman that would be on the screen, and she would be like pretty much a main member in the Darkseid clan. So for the next group of people that I'm going to cast the group, the Female Furies. Now, the Female Furies are the elite fighting group on Apokolips, and they are led by Big Barda. And, well, they're led by Granny Goodness, but then their team leader is Big Barda. For this movie, I do believe that by the end of this movie, Big Barda and Mr. Miracle, who have a relationship together, they get married, I think that they should leave Apokolips. And I think that their love story would be a great way to go about this. So for Big Barda, I have cast Penelope Cruz. I think she's so beautiful, and I think that she's so, like, if you've seen her in Pirates of the Caribbean, she was in that number 4, she was my favorite character in that movie, and I really wish they would have brought her over to the 5th one, but she's so great. I love her accent. Keep the accent. I just love, and for this movie, if she, got into like a stronger shape, and everything, I think that she would bring not only a strength, but also a femininity to Big Barda that I think would just be great. The next female Fury that I cast was Lashina, and I have cast Jessica Lucas. If you know her, you will know her from the show Gotham. I think that, she's already used a whip there, and I think that she could really use one here, and, even though they're probably would just be CGI. But, and I think that she would be a capable actress in this role. I think that she would do great, and I would love to see her in that role. So for my next Female Fury, I would like to cast Mad Harriet. And for this one, I have cast Angela Serafine. I hope that's how you say it. If you've seen the show Westworld, she's in that one. I can't remember the name of her character in that show, but she's got such a look, like she just looks like she's crazy. And I think that if you just added a crazy laugh onto her, like a Joker laugh, I think that she would do a great job in this role. And she's just she's very beautiful. I think that she, again, she would bring an elegance to madness. I mean, Mad Harriet is mad, and I think that she would do, and they've had so many different representations of her that I think that this could possibly be the truest form of it from the comic books, in my opinion. The next one I want to cast is Stampa. And for this one, the thing I like most about Wonder Woman with the Amazons is they cast athletes, and they also cast models in some of the Amazons on Themyscira. So I think that maybe we should do a little bit of this with the female Furies. And so for this one, I have cast Serena Williams. Now, I think Serena Williams, she's got like a bigger build to herself, kind of like Stampa. And I think that Serena Williams is very, like, if you look at pictures of her, she's very effeminate and everything. I just think that when she's playing tennis, I think that she's just strong, and she just brings that strength. I think she would bring the strength to that character. And then for the last female Fury that I would cast is Guillotina. And for this one, I would cast model Islomova Kisinia. I think that's how you say her name. Obviously, she would have to be very beautiful, and this model is very beautiful. And I think that, like I said before, they cast models in Wonder Woman, and I think that it worked out really well. I mean, you know, none of the female Furies besides Big Barda really have to have an overwhelming amount of lines to say. So, I mean, like, if this girl can't act, as long as she can learn choreography in fighting, and she can just sit there and look pretty, I know that doesn't sound right, but she would be badass. She would be pretty and badass. Then I think that this would be a good match, as far as, in my opinion. And then the last Apocalyptian that I want to cast is Mr. Miracle. And for this one, I cast Diego Luna. I think he's such a great talent. He's so good. If you've seen Rogue One, he was so good. And he was my favorite part in that movie. And I really think that he would do a good job. And I think that because in this, Big Barda and Mr. Miracle are husband and wife, and I think that they would make a good couple as far as this movie goes. And I think that he's just really great. I think he's proven himself as an actor, and I think that he would do a really great job in this role. Now, as far as this cast goes, I think it's diverse enough for Ava DuVernay, and I think that. And this is only half. I haven't done the new Genesis one yet. You can check that one out. But tell me what you think about my cast. Do you think I've picked good people for it? Who would you cast in these roles? Go ahead and leave those down in the comment section down below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you didn't like this video, if you could tell me in the comment section what you didn't like about it and what I can do to improve, I would greatly appreciate that. If you could subscribe, I would so immensely appreciate that. And if you could share this on your social media, I would really appreciate that also. All right, I hope you have a great day, and I will check you guys later. Bye.